Good evening and welcome to the month. To see you all. This is now streaming from YouTube, Instagram and Facebook. Yay! Anyway, so I hope you're having a lovely Tuesday evening. Not normally done on a Tuesday, but that was the day that was available for this particular lovely talk that we're going to have today. So, I'm just going to wait for a couple of seconds just to let anybody jump on. If you've got anything to say, please do so in the comments. It'd be lovely to hear from you. Please do say hello. And I will find the comments. There we are. Right. There we go. So yes, please do make a comment. Let us know. If you've got any questions in this talk, then please do shove them in. And we'll endeavour to answer them probably at the end. So, now oh, I don't know why it's not doing that one on there. Instagram's just got a welcome. Oh, it's delayed. Okay, lovely. Hello there. Please do say who you want to keep messing up this evening because it keeps going on and off, but I'm hoping it's going to stay on. So please do share in the comments and come and hello. It's lovely to know who's watching. Give it another minute or two. Ooh. So this evening's talk. Didn't really get the title, so I'm going to let her speak because she's the best. So as our favourite person ever, it's Suzie Quarterly. Welcome to the stage. Hold on. Look at me now. Here we are. It's no? Suzie Quarterly. Welcome to the stage. Hold on. Have you got your YouTube phone? Can you switch it into type because I'm hearing myself twice? Have you got your YouTube phone? Check. I'm hearing myself twice. Oh, now we've got it 3 times. Hang on. Now we've got it 3 times. Hang on. Right, we've got a lot of feedback. Can you turn off your YouTube, please, Suzie? Because I think that's just giving us feedback. Not very nice feedback either. Right in my ear roll. Apologies for the interference, everyone. I don't know why it's doing it. Is that it? Apologies for the interference, everyone. I don't know why it's doing it. Is that it? Suzie, have you got your YouTube channel on another internet? Let me talk to you up there. Hold on. Sorry everyone, I don't know why it's doing this because I've not got mine on. Sorry everyone, I don't know why it's doing this. Right, I've just checked.
It's not
me. Feedback, yeah. Yes, I know. I don't know why we're getting feedback. Have you got Have you got the YouTube channel on your internet? Have you got it on here, on your internet? It's just making a feedback loop. You need to turn it off.
It's not me.
It should just be out. The thing. It's stopped now. Did you turn it off?
Stop now. I don't know what
it stopped.
I don't
so
know what
whatever it was.
I actually closed Facebook. Right. I actually closed Facebook.
How? Oh.
Yeah.
Might have been that then, because that was live as well, so it might have been. Okay. Apologies, everyone. There we go. We're back in business.
Sorry about that. Us sold crones are terrible.
Welcome to my stick, Eddie. Yes. Right. Okay. Let me just turn off. Oh, glad that's stopped, because that was quite nasty actually, that noise. Let's turn off the old feeder ducts. Here we go. That's the music background. Okay. Welcome, Suzie. Here we go. No more feedback. Without further ado, I'll let you go on. You've been working so hard on this, so let's get cracking. I'm going to put you on the big, so you're a big person, and I'm a little person, hopefully. Let me just do that. Oh, is it done it around the wrong way? No, we'll go the other way. How do we do it the other way? La la la. We want you on, a big person. Let me just put you on there. Look. No, that's going to do me. If I do that. Oh. What?
Hooray! You had it then.
There we go. Oh no, there.
No.
I did. There it is. Switcheroony.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's good. There we go. That'll do. There we are. You carry on now. Sorry for the wouldn't work.
Well, thank you for
right.
having
I'll let you
me
get
back.
on.
Thank you for having me back a second time. I couldn't have done so badly last time. I know I do stutter a bit and I speak slowly, but that that's me. Okay, pagan influences on Christmas lore. There's an awful lot of aspects that I could, angles I could actually come in at and talk about. There's a handful of Christmas witches and traditions from lots of different countries, including Scotland and Wales have particular traditions which we don't see in England. I'm sure Ireland probably does as well, but I'm not looking at that. For many pagans, the word Christmas conjures up resentment and anger that this was yet another festival that Christianity hijacked. There's plenty of truth in that sentiment, but in truth, it wasn't a direct attack on you, as I know British pagans often feel. The first appropriation would have been Christians taking over the Roman festival of Saturnalia, which has similar concepts to Yule in so much as it is about welcoming the return of the sun. I'm sure that there's an awful lot of other things about Saturnalia, and I don't propose to go into them here. It was when these Romans were converted by the Christians that, and they came across to Britain, that the Romans, then set about Yule and Christianizing that, and possibly with a bit more compassion than when the Christians came to Rome, because the Romans were very good at working alongside existing beliefs and worship. There's an awful lot of Roman temples and shrines in the UK where they're dedicated to a god or a goddess, such as Coventina up on Hadrian's Wall or Sulis at Bath, where they've put their own deities alongside. 9 out of 10 times that was Minerva. So saying that, for instance, Verbea, the goddess of the River Wharfe, was twinned with Minerva is all very well, but Minerva was twinned with Sulis and Coventina and Sinuna and a whole load of others. And that doesn't, and that was more from the fact that the Romans just wanted a place to worship their deities and weren't going to upset the locals any more than they had to. So they'd worship alongside the locals. The locals would worship Sulis. The Romans had worshipped Minerva. And Minerva happened such a lot of times that these were soldiers. Of course, they were going to worship their goddess of war. I'd like to actually, I'm studying Andraste a bit at the moment, and she was our goddess of victory. She was a war goddess. It'd be interesting to see what the Romans made of her, although Andraste's buddy was Boudica, and we all know what the Romans did to Boudica. So I'm going off subject already, but so the Christian Romans probably had an awful lot more compassion than the original Christians had on Rome when they took over Saturnalia. But these Yule and Saturnalia are very different, if only from the fact that the geography of the regions they hail from makes wintertime very different. And don't forget that Yule is not originally from England, but from a lot further north, when winter days were even shorter than we have right now. The return of the sun was therefore even more important, and the peoples of those lands had deep spirituality. Those lands that gave us the first indigenous shaman, the lands of Seether and Vulvas, who would travel offering spiritual insights to one and all, especially if they were fed and paid and given shelter during the winter months. But let us for a moment consider the Christian story and Christmas today. Where in the Bible does it mention Father Christmas? Where does it mention reindeer, sleighs, flying through the sky at breakneck speed, anonymous present givings such as that given by Father Christmas? Yes, gift giving was part of the original story, but everyone gave to their ability and no presents were actually asked for. I also want to take a pop shot at the modern play on words that happens in English-speaking communities with the phrase, the birth of the sun, where sun can be spelt S-O-N or S-U-N, and people try and equate the two festivals of Christmas and Yule as being basically the same thing. Well, maybe, but no other language can play on words like that. And to do so is, in my opinion, it's a bit of BS to try and dumb down the crossovers and appropriation in the Yule Christmas debate. In fact, if we go back to the English spoken 1,500 years ago, it's probable that we couldn't have done it then either. So where does the whole Father Christmas and reindeer thing fit in? In a couple of words, it's shamanic Yule practice. And the same can be said for decorating pine trees with brightly coloured ornaments. Nowhere in the Bible do you find Christmas trees. And I would infer that Christmas today is in fact I can't read my notes. Something. I only wrote this last night. I really can't read that scribble. I would infer Christmas today is in fact sorry about that. It's a merging of Christianity and paganism. Therefore, the course that it can be observed by both factions. The date of Yule seems to be accepted as December the 21st, which is right as it usually that date that the solstice occurs. The solstice is a very specific astrological event. It's when the sun stops traveling away for winter towards or towards for midsummer the planet Earth. So it goes all that, and the point of solstice is there when it starts traveling back. And at that turning point, the solstice, the sun stops still or appears to stop still in the sky for roughly 3 days. And it's not really until December the 25th that we can see the days getting longer. So the 25th of December is still within the Yule festival. And it's perfectly all right for pagans to feast on the 25th of December. It's all right for pagans to feast whenever they want because they're pagan. So, but I think the measurement that the days lengthen is so minuscule. I question if, in times less technically advanced, if they could actually see this, let alone measure it. Although I'm sure that many of us have observed when we're driving out about 3:30, 4:45 in the afternoon, and we think, oh, there's still a bit of daylight left. I don't need to go on to full headlights just yet. There's plenty of daylight, and within 10 minutes it's dark. Dusk does not last long. It falls dark very, very quickly. And no doubt our primitive forefathers would have noted this as well. So maybe that was how they measured the actual lengthening of days. Also, consider the old tradition was of keeping Yule decorations up until the end of January or Imbolc. And a lot of people still do. I believe the royal family do. I don't know why, what their logic is, but I'm sure that Queen Elizabeth II kept her decorations up until the 1st of February. There must have been some historic reason for that. But if we look now in more detail at our shamanic peoples and how they've put their stamp on Christmas indelibly, we need to look at the reindeer, who seem to have been a bridge between the animal kingdom and mankind, and are often semi-domesticated by the tribes who still exist in small numbers today. If you're interested in learning more about these tribes, there's a book called Reindeer People by Piers Vitebsky, Vitebsky, and it's available in libraries. I found it very easy to get copies in Surrey libraries. I think Surrey had something like half a dozen copies when I last looked. So you don't have to go out and buy it. And this tells you, it gives a good anthropological account of the people who live with the reindeer and have lived with the reindeer for hundreds of years. It's not just about Christmas lore. So Santa's reindeer would appear to be female, or a castrated male, because male reindeer shed their antlers in autumn at the start of the rutting season. Females and eunuchs shed their antlers in spring. So, what was Rudolph? And did he have a red nose? Well, yes, he might have had a red nose, as red-nosed reindeer often get it from a fly invasion that can turn their mucous membranes red. These and other flies are attracted to a particular mushroom. It's called the fly agaric. You know, the red one with the white spots on it. And reindeer are attracted to fly agaric mushrooms as a food source and a source of fun, for they enjoy the effects of this hallucinogenic species without suffering the effects of its toxicity. Now, it wasn't just the reindeer that enjoyed these mushrooms. Everyone did. But they had to take steps to reduce the toxicity. The responsibility for processing the plentiful supply of and distributing it lay with the local shaman. Fly agaric grows well around the base of birch and pine trees. Our shaman lives in a snow-covered landscape where pine gives a lot of shelter. The village is of yurt dwellers whose front doors are often snowed in for long periods of time. Imagine how likely it would be to suffer cabin fever being snowed into a yurt for weeks on end. Wouldn't it be fun to take a trip, even if it were a drug-induced one? Our shaman would be harvesting as many mushrooms as possible, and to reduce the toxicity would dry them out by hanging them on the pine trees. So we have pine trees decorated or hung with bright red and white decorations. Remind you of anything? This was a seasonal activity done to distribute a small sack to each of the yurts at solstice time. So we have gift distribution too, which is very much part of today's Christmas. But I wonder if your parents would thank you for a bag of dried mushrooms or even something hallucinogenic. We also have a tripping out Santa and reindeer, all of whom thought they could fly. So when you asked how they got from yurt to yurt, they would say they flew. To add to this picture, you need to bear in mind that the national dress code for these peoples was often red and white, which in the cold months would be fur-lined or fur-edged. They weren't all red. You probably found a few green and a few blue ones, but depending on the tribe. So the story that Santa had a green coat until the Coca-Cola advert in the late 40s. Is a little bit of poetic license. Traditionally, the Sami and others and Siberians would wear red. They wore bright colours, so you could see them easily in the whiteout conditions in which they lived. So the shaman themselves would be the older members of the community with long white beards, the perfect image of Father Christmas. They wouldn't shave. Why would you shave something warm and insulating off your face when it was your face was the only bit that you didn't cover with warm clothing, and it's minus God knows what. I've experienced minus 26 on a couple of occasions, and it's cold. You don't want to even stick your nose out from over the scarf. There's just one more piece to fit in this jigsaw. As I said, the yurts would often be snowed in, and the front door inaccessible. The yurts would become very much like an igloo, a lined igloo, when it snowed in. So they would not have been overly cold because the snow in that quantity is insulating. And so you've got your yurt, and there's the chimney at the top because they have a central wood burning fire, and the smoke goes up. Out of the yurt through the center of the construction. And this is the only accessible opening through which they could deliver the Yuletide gifts. Santa's sack of joy, full of dried fly agarics. So the other thing with it, the snow having come up across the door, it meant that it was easier for someone on the outside to walk on the roof, if you like, because the snow banked up the sides of the yurt, and they could dig access ways to get up on the roof and drop their present down the chimney. And it was accepted that this could be used as an entry and exit point, even for people, if necessary. If you've got the, a pole or to climb up, like the teepee one. The yurts weren't built on a central pole like a teepee, but that type of idea would have enabled people to climb in and out, or you bunk up on, like a circus act, and climb on top of each other. So there we have it. Santa and the reindeer were tripped out snow hippies. There's just one last thing. I'm sorry, it's only a short talk tonight. There's just one thing I want to share with you. When reindeer had been eating fly agaric, their pee contained enough active substance for a person to be able to trip, and all of the toxins were filtered out by the reindeer's metabolism. So perhaps it is okay to eat yellow snow. And there you have it. Pagan basics of part of our Christmas traditions. Thank you for listening.
That's brilliant. What was it you called them? Snow what? I was trying to write it down and then I forgot what you said. Snowbound.
Tripped out snow hippies.
Tripped. I gotta write that down. Snow hippies. Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually, doesn't it? Where you get a lot of that from. Yeah, that's really interesting. Thank you for that. That was lots of fun.
You could
yeah.
You can
wait. So it kind of gives you a different perspective, doesn't it? Along with all the other perspectives.
As you come further south, you've got the St. Nicholas, but stories that weave into it. But by the time you're putting saint in front of someone's name, you've been Christianized for a good while. But this is this goes back a long time. This one does.
Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, it's very interesting. Thank you for that. That was really cool. I love that. What was it? Tripped out snow hippies. I really like that. But I quite like the idea of having some dried out mushrooms for Christmas, actually. If any of our children are watching.
You're easy to salt then.
Well, that'd be fun, yeah. Well, assuming I don't get poisoned with it, then that's
if
all
the
right.
whole community's got a bag of trippy mushrooms, then if someone says, "Well, I've been flying around," the reindeer pull a sleigh and so I fly around with it. You've set the seed that those who have been who've been gifted a bag of mushrooms, they will see that's exactly what they will see the next time they have a munch or a
Yeah,
smoke.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
um, it you there's,
I have to.
you know, the hallucinogenic, trips are open to autosuggestion. You can when somebody's under
Mm,
the influence, you can make them see what you want.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be honest. When you gave me the title of your talk, I was like, "What on earth is this going to be about?"
I bet you didn't
Makes
think it
sense.
was going to be about taking about hallucinogenic trips.
I didn't think it was about where you ended up now.
No.
And yeah, drying out the mushrooms on the pine trees. No, did not think any of that. So yes, as I said at the beginning, I was like, I haven't really got a clue what she's going to be talking about, to be honest. But yeah, that was so cool. I really enjoyed that. I do love a bit of humour. So yes, yeah, so really good. That was good. It's a lovely Christmas ending to our monthly
Yes,
mystical live chats. Yes, love that. And I do hope
just
that you're going to come back on again. I'm pretty sure I can uh, coax you in
yes,
with a bit of something.
yes. I do have a chat. When giving talks, there's an off. There's a bit of um, diplomacy in where you talk and what you say. If I put everything out on uh, YouTube or channels like yours, I would do myself out of um, um, uh,
Out of a job.
well, it's not a job. I don't get paid for it. I mean, an awful lot of the
No,
conferences
of course not.
um, and the gatherings, especially. I just work. I give a talk and I get a weekend at a pagan bun fight for free. It's not. It's not a get rich quick scheme, but you have to be um, relevant. You have to be able to change um, your repertoire so that you're not always going through the same things. I'm working on a really big subject at the moment to do with a particular goddess. Um, and um, I want to tell everybody about her. But the moment I put this out on the internet, I've killed all my tickets for going to
Yeah, next.
yeah, all my camping gigs next year. And
Yeah,
you've got to be really careful. But I do, and the other thing is seasonal ones.
completely
It's like,
understand that.
yeah,
Oh,
I've written that one specially for you, although it's knowledge I've had for some time, because there's not
very
much
much.
you can do. There's not a lot going on around Yule where I need to go and earn myself a ticket to a conference because nobody's doing conferences over Yule. They're too busy having fun. Um, so I wrote a piece last year for Midsummer for a friend who runs camps just outside Salisbury, or New Forest Way. And because it's specific to midsummer, it hasn't got a particularly long life. I might get away with doing it one more time this year to a camp, and then it can go out on the internet. But
Excellent.
So I've got something for you for June time, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know.
Cool, no problems. And maybe you could think up a ritual for one of the festivals that you could that we could do together, because we did one with one of the other ladies that came on. It was really cool, and I think that seemed to work quite well. It was lovely. So if you fancy doing a bit of a, you know, a doodah, let us know on that one. That'd be cool.
An online ritual.
Yeah, why not?
I'll think about that one.
We've done one already, so yeah.
I'll think about that one.
What have we got next? So it's in bulk.
Yeah.
Next, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be interested to know, because I don't really know a lot about in bulk, so that'd be really cool.
I mean, again, your audience, how I'm very definitely on the witchcraft end of paganism. Yes, I'm also on paper I'm a druid. I've been hanging out with druids for more than 10 years, as well as doing my witchcraft. I do shamanic work, which is how I know about the mushrooms. But if your audience is more high magician stuff, I don't.
Well, I no, because this is a monthly mystical magical, so it's anything goes. I've had many different people on. I've had witches, I've had pagans, I've had I think I haven't had any shamans on yet, apart from yourself. But I've had all sorts of people. I've had philosophers, I've had everybody. So it doesn't really matter. You will get, the audience comes when the audience wants to come, and they see that this is the kind of thing they want to listen to. So if anybody's interested, pop a comment in if you'd like to see a nice ritual at that point. If you see it in the replay, do replay hashtag, and yeah, let us know.
So I've been doing a lot of work with goddesses at the moment. Maybe I can, I'll find one and I can do a presentation on a, I find one with a particularly interesting story, other than the one that I'm working with at the moment that I can't.
Yes.
Other than my special one.
Anything goes on this channel. You should know that it's just anything magical in my eyes.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah.
I've got something in mind that for a later date. That someone might like to join me and.
Okie. Well, that's brilliant.
And do an
excellent stuff.
Presentation. Yeah. I've lost you, Jackie.
Oh, yes, that'll be cool. Well, I'll be joining in, obviously. I've gone off again. Yeah. It keeps going on and off. Right, so I'll leave you there before we have any more disruptions. And thank you so much for a really enjoyable evening. That was fun.
Yeah, were there any questions from anyone?
Not today. We've had no questions.
Well,
no, not as such. Anybody got any questions before we go? Let me just type in any questions. Doesn't look like we've got any questions.
Fine.
So, yeah, I shall love you and leave you, and have a lovely evening. If anybody does have a question, I'll ask you on the side, and then I'll answer it on the channel at that time. All right, lovely. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a lovely Yuletide and whatever you would like to call it. Happy Christmas and all the rest. And I'll see you soon.
See you, Jackie.
All right. Bye for now, Suzie.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye. Well, that was just so funny. I can't get over the tripped out snow hippies. Right. I hope you all have a lovely evening, and I probably will come on before the end of the year, so I won't going to do my Happy Christmases yet. You've not got rid of me as yet. I will be doing a few more magical tools talks and possibly another couple of talks. We'll see how far we get. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Love and light to you all. Hope you all have a magical evening. And we'll see you again next time on the Monthly Mystical Live. See you all soon. Have a fabulous evening.